Okay, rocketing friends, there it is. The Ultra Super Vega, ready to go. So let's take a little trip through time. We'll go back right over here. This is the OG Super Vega. This was built straight out of the Estes Super Vega box, which, amazing story. I won't go through the whole thing, but I bought two of these, I want to say in the late 90s, at a little store in Bellingham, Washington. They were 30 bucks each. There were three on the shelf and nothing else. No other rockets in the entire building. I don't know why I didn't arm sweep and buy all three of them. But this is one. The other one I've launched and it's come all apart and served its time. So this is my OG Super Vega out of those two, the only thing that survives. Now, last time, oh, you just saw this launch, by the way, yesterday morning. That was this fine filler, nice and light, good to go. But last year, I think it was, or earlier, yeah, it would have been last year. This thing, I think at that same place, that little park, when it landed, it hit maybe cement and bent that little pod there. So, you know, it's still launch worthy. I've reinforced it with some glue. It's good to go. I've got a giant chute on there, which another story. I'll talk about getting that fit into this thing. Well, I think I've got that figured out now. But that is our OG old Super Vega. Then let's move forward here to QMODELING days. QMODELING was a great little company. I think somewhere in the middle of the land, the lower 48 somewhere there. Nice mom and pop kind of thing. As I understand, they had some kind of a flooding, I think it was, which sadly put them out of business. So this is quite the story. So this thing I built completely after I got it, and before painting it, I decided to give it a test launch, which is always a bad idea. So out at Swan Falls launch site in Idaho, this baby came crashing down and it broke one of the cones, and I was pretty sad. So I emailed the folks at QMODELING. They were wonderful. They sent me a new cone, some replacement parts. I finished building it, and then I went ahead and painted it and decaled it. And it was a beautiful, beautiful thing. Took it back out to Swan Falls, and this was terrifying. I launched this baby up, I don't remember on what, probably an E of some kind, and I watched it come down and land on a gravel road. I was cringing. I was pretty sure that it was just going to be in dozens of pieces, but surprisingly, all it did was it busted loose one of the rings inside this pod. That's why it leans down here instead of standing up with that spring pressure, right? If I just tap it, bloop, down it goes. So I do think I'll fix that, but this baby is forever a shelf queen because we have now taken the technology of QMODELING with, don't remember if these are through the wall fins or not, actually, but the spring-loaded pods, no cones, and then through the wall plywood fins, reinforcement wherever we can. And what do we have here? The Ultra Super Vega right here. A thing o' beauty. So what we have here now is spring-loaded pods. I got the springs from Tacoma Screw, and they're not perfect, but they're close enough. And then what I've done to avoid that incident over here with the ring coming loose in the pod, I've added toothpicks, one on each side of the two rings that are in here. So even if this lower ring inside comes loose, it won't be able to push up like this one is because I've got toothpicks glued in place there and my dowel is free. So hopefully that avoids that. Then I've also added thin CA glue to a big section of this pod. I don't think I did the whole pod because I wanted to make sure that my dowel could slide around well in there. But this is reinforced now for better strength in a big section of each pod. When this thing comes down, the pressure is right here. Maybe to solve that, we've got plywood through the wall fins, right? From Bad Boy Rocketry. And wood rings in there. So that is beautiful. Then at the top, up in here, like I always do with all my model rockets, I put about 1 inch of thin CA up in here to prevent zippering, right? So that takes care of that. So yeah, we got quite a bit of weight here, but I am going to weigh it out, see where it's at, and then we're going to have to figure out our nose cone weight there. But by golly, she's a beauty. I'm not thrilled with these sticky stickers. They were terrifying to do the wraparounds, and it was not pretty, but on this side it looks great, and that's what counts. This is a workhorse. This one is meant to launch again and again and again. That's the hope and the idea. So there it is, Ultra Super Vega, Bad Boy Rocketry, Estes, and QMODELING mashup. Awesome. So I will video the first launch of this one, hopefully soon. I've got an E20. I think that's what I'm going to use, and we'll see how that goes. Next up for me is getting the vinyl stickers onto the Bad Boy Rocketry Citation Patriot. Hope to start on that today. So thanks for stopping by. It's AC Model Rockets. Tell your friends, like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.